All right, everybody. Welcome back to another Art with Errol podcast. This is our Monday check-in. Happy Memorial Day. You know, I mean, it's Memorial Day. We always got to give this moment of silence, I think, for the fallen. And, you know, we always on Memorial Day have, a time to kind of relax as well with the day off. So, I mean, most people will barbecue and do, certain things on Memorial Day. Hopefully you give some time or some silence or whatever to honor those who have fallen and all that. Um, but I still wanted to do my Monday podcast, so it's gonna be a short one today. Today we usually will go do the reef thing because my kids are they're they're in the scouts and all that. So that's another way you can also uh, honor the fallen as well. It's like when they do the reefs and put them on the graves and all that. Um, but you know. I still want to do my check-in, so I don't really plan on being on here for too long, y'all. Spending time with the family today, kind of relaxing and unwinding a little bit. Didn't do much anything really this weekend. I mean, you come to think of it, because it was supposed to be rainy all weekend. It was off and on rainy, and outside has been kind of mushy and terrible, and the grass and all that. So um, we did spend a lot of times indoors this weekend. But yeah, I should do my I always forget, y'all. I always forget. I'm kind of bad at doing this introduction thing. For those who don't know, I'm Errol. I'm your host. I'm an artist, graphic designer, and a gamer. Retired from the Navy. There's my intro. So that's what you get today. Um, so yeah, today's been more of a relaxing day. I thought today it was supposed to have the Spider Noir come out, but apparently it's the 27th. It's gonna be on Prime, which I'm excited for, to see Nicolas Cage, as Spider Noir. I thought it was gonna be today, but me and the wife ended up watching some other little shows, kind of unwinding and chilling this Memorial Day. But as far as last week, I feel like my progress with this social media stuff has kind of been a little low. But I mean, I'm seeing still some progress. There's been ups and downs. And I think I'm at a little low point. So hopefully I can pick it back up. I've been mostly just making content during the week. I've been taking Saturday and Sunday pretty much off and trying to just do Monday through Friday stuff. But I always feel like when you don't make content, I notice like from a lot of the content creators I watch, some of them do like Saturday, Sunday post or content or whatever. Which me, I try to like spend a Saturday, Sunday with the family. So if I get a little gaming in or whatever on the weekend, I try to keep it short. That's the main thing. I don't, I want to spend, that time with the family. So, I don't really do a lot of game streaming these days. But 007, First Light is coming out on the 27th as well, right? I think it is. And I really want to play that game. So I'm gonna try to fit it in the schedule, y'all. Hopefully Friday we can get a good game stream in of that. I do want to finish my father's portrait. So this week, I really only gotta do touch-ups and just kind of smooth a few things out. I'm really happy how it's coming out. Like there's like little details that I want to touch, and then I'll be signing that off this week, and then I think next week is my plan to go into doing the Archangel Gabriel. So that was a request from somebody. I don't even remember who it was. It was a while back, But for all those who do follow me on my art channel, If you make requests, I do try to add it in to do that type of artwork or whatever. As long as it's within taste, it's nothing, way out to left field. I'll add it into the rotation of things to draw or paint or whatever, and whatever you want to see. If you want me to see me do watercolor or something like that, and you mention it, I'll be like, all right, cool. I'll work that in. Or if you just want to see like some charcoal kind of drawing or something like that, I'll try to work it in. Whatever people would like. I'm more than willing to accommodate. I always say that. All you gotta do is request it, and I see it. I'll try to add it in. Like I said, as long as it's within taste, nothing nothing out to lunch. You know what I mean? You know what's good and what's not. I mean, people know what's good and what's not. So as far as progress, our growth has kind of slowed. I don't know if it's just like because it's summertime and like maybe less people are watching or whatever. I don't know. There's ups and downs with YouTube, and I don't really grow much on Twitch. I wish I could figure that out, but I think the real issue is I don't do those 8-hour or like longer streams. I'm only on here for a very short period of time, usually like 30 minutes or like an hour or 2 hours. I think that's been my max, is 2 hours when I stream. So like I think I don't stream long enough for people to even find me or whatever, right? So I just come to the conclusion that if I can concentrate on growing the YouTube, maybe some of that will trickle over into the Twitch platform, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm late to the game with a lot of this stuff. People been multi-streaming and doing all this stuff. They had the formula down on how to do things. Like I think for the most part, the formula was you would stream on Twitch and post videos on YouTube or whatever, right? Well, that formula is completely changed now. I think people stream on multi-platforms and still post videos to YouTube or something like that. So, just learning that whole dynamic and, figuring out how to grow with social media. And that's what, this podcast has been about, like just trying to figure it out and, carve our own way into, growing. And I try to give people at least my thought process on what I think's been working and what hasn't been working. And so far, like I said, I think the little bit of gaming news videos I've been making have really been contributing to a lot of my growth on the gaming channel, because my gaming channel has grown significantly. I mean, I'm at 331 now, which, it's definitely adding to it. And, with people starting to like comment, I mean, that's great. I like that. I try to go in and, give thumbs ups and stuff like that. And likes and all that stuff to folks that do, comment on the video and all that. Sometimes I miss stuff, sometimes I don't, but as far as like the way our stuff has been going, it looks like the everyday video of doing a little bit of gaming news short, that's been like working. It's definitely helped grow the channel. So I did figure out a formula that is working for me. Still slow going. Like I gotta nail down the making of those videos, obviously, which I've tried to become a little more loose with it. Like, I'll take and I'll create a little script and I'll read some of it and then just, kind of go with my own thoughts, after that, but blending that together, I'm still kind of like in the phase of like, making it work. And I have made some edits and changes to the format, like, a much closer version of my face. And then we got like the separation, or, you got the, video or whatever I'm showing, that we're talking about. So I have made some changes there too. And I think that all that is working. So I think it's getting better. I definitely want to like, push my range though, and try to like, further it along or make it even better. So I'll just continue to like try to figure that out and work things out. But I've been sticking with just the shorts version because, I don't have a lot of time when I make those videos. I make them in the morning, which is just before I go to work. So I gotta be quick, gotta be fast, so sometimes I just lay it down the way it is, and it is what it is. So unlike most of these folks who do these content creation, their main job is like making those videos. Mine is not. So like, I gotta push the envelope each time I try to make something, and nail it in just a couple takes, cause it's off to the races. I'm going to work or whatever, but as far as the way things has been going, I really been happy with it. As far as the art channel, it's just always been hard for me to get a lot of notice, but I have seen some positive, as far as like, growth to the channel. It is growing. It's just very, very slow. It's a lot slower than our gaming channel. And when I look at the analytics, I was trying to pull it up now, but the computer's going a little slow, of course. Subscribers have kind of like, went to a standstill, it is what it is. It goes up and down, and I've had this channel forever, and we're at 383. So my gaming channel will surpass, I think, our art channel, which is fine. I'll just keep doing my artwork and posting it, and it is what it is. We'll post the podcast and the artwork onto the art channel, and that will be the content for it. If people want to like and subscribe, they will. If not, oh well, it's no big deal. I'm gonna keep doing it anyway because I love doing artwork. As far as the gaming channel, like I said, only so many hours in a day, and I can't always get a game stream in. So I'm trying to like just make Friday our game streaming day, and a lot of times I haven't been able to get that in. So the goal is to try to get it in this Friday with 007 First Light, which I already pre-ordered the game, so I can actually play it early, but I want to finish the painting. So Wednesday and Thursday is our days to paint. So if I can get the painting done, maybe we can get one in on Thursday and Friday, and then next week we dive into the Archangel Gabriel. I think that may be the way forward, but I think the way things are going are pretty good, as good as it's going to be for like someone who works and has a family and does like, all the stuff that I got going on. I think I'm managing it the best that I can, a lot of people, I notice on the internet now are making, content where they, they're looking at a lot of other folks or other content, and these police reels and all this stuff. I see a lot of people feeding off of misery, and I just don't want to be that kind of content creator or whatever. That's just not my style or whatever. I just like to stay in my lane and do my thing. I feel like art and gaming, that's what I like. I'm just gonna stick to that. A lot of people do political and all this other stuff, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I can see how that, that's very interesting to a lot of folks, and you can get a lot of views on that. That just ain't my thing, man. So, I think because it's not my thing, it's going to even be harder to get the attention of gamers who, already locked into so many other creators, and so many choices out there. So building something unique for my channel has been like challenging, figuring that dynamic out and trying to push the envelope of what I can do, especially with my limited time. It's not like I got hours and hours to try to like make something or, live stream or whatever. I don't really have that. So we got the time we got, so I got to be good in the time that I got. And I just got to figure out how to pick that pace up to make the time that I have count, which I think, is possible, It's really possible to make the time that you have count. Is a big thing, and I tried my best. So I really enjoy the podcast because I think it's the best time for me to kind of like lay out my thoughts and then reflect on it and say, okay, we can do this better, we can do that better, and obviously with the bit of gaming news, I have little ideas that I've been trying to like build upon slowly, which you should be seeing the change as I've been, over the months and stuff. Like I've been changing little things here and there, which should reflect in all the videos, and I think it's getting better because obviously that channel is growing, just that one little short each day, I've been noticing, growth. Even though, like I said, even though my growth is slow, I'm still getting growth, because if I look at like for my gaming channel, we're at plus 20 for the last 28 days. It was higher the last few months. It was like in the 30s. So I mean that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I would like to see that on the art channel, but the art channel is what it is. I'm not doing shorts. I'm posting streams of me painting. So that can be, I guess, not as dynamic, I guess, or because you're just watching somebody paint, I mean, unless you're not like into the Bob Ross type stuff, you're probably not going to want to sit there and watch the painting, I guess, but which I could be more in tuned into, like saying I'm using these colors or whatever, which I'll try to say some things here and there. I'll talk about how I'm doing it or my thought process as I'm painting, which I could get better at that. That's always a step up in progress there that I can work towards for the art content, because I don't really do the shorts until I completed the painting, and then I just shrink it down until like, that 1 minute video. So, but that's coming. So we're going to have one. After we finish my father's portrait, I'll have that one short of creating that painting, and I'll probably add a little music to the short version, and it'll be good. So we're almost there with that one. I think we'll be done this week. If I can get one good session, I think I could probably finish it on Wednesday, or Thursday. I don't have my phone on me, but I think I actually have an appointment on one of them days. So it may be actually Thursday that we're finishing that, and then Friday we're doing the first light. So that's the way it's looking, y'all, for this week. I think it's going to be another one of those weeks where last week I had like a lot of appointments, so I just couldn't get stuff in. Couldn't get the sessions in that I wanted. And that's part of the reason why we didn't get a game stream in last week, because, I needed to turn Friday into an art session. So, yeah, sometimes that happens, things arise and you have to make adjustments. So that's where we've been at, and that's where we're going. I'm going to keep pushing forward. The summertime is always challenging because, kids are out of school. They got, summer camp and other stuff. But, we make the best out of the time we have, So I appreciate everyone. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got Art with Errol and Art with Errol Gaming. And you can follow us on Twitch, where we do like most of our streams, so, and I think I'm going to go to like just single streaming, man. I I mean, I know a lot of people are doing multi, and I tried the multi-stream. I think it's just a bit much, man. I would rather just stream the one platform. So I think I just want to kind of like not stream to multi-platform, and just post it as videos, man. I don't know, but the problem with that is I don't have the time to like make a bunch of clips. You know, that's where like, you know, if I do a 2-hour stream, you know, then you got to break it up into clips or whatever and put it. It would be nice if I had help with that, but you know, I ain't there yet. So it's all good. It's all good. You know, so maybe I'll continue to multi-stream Twitch and YouTube. We'll see. We'll see. I got ideas and thoughts, but you know, what better time to lay them out than on this podcast, right? Our Monday check-in, see how things are going, and I mean, for the most part, we're on a low. You know, the gaming channel's been kind of slow, and the art channel has kind of been really slow. So, and that's all good. Maybe when I do the Archangel Gabriel, more people will tune into that. You know, because it's more of a biblical painting. You know. So we'll draw that out, and then we'll paint that next week, or we'll get the drawing done at least, and then try to get it laid on a canvas. So yeah, man, life is good, you know. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you enjoyed your time off. Hope you paid homage to those who passed, those who have fallen, you know. Other than that, man, you guys enjoy your Monday. I'm going to shut this down and go chill with the wife. We're going to be watching our little show. And then we're back at it on Tuesday. We're going to be, you know, back to the grind, back to work. You know, doing your thing. So, all right, y'all. I'm out of here.